In a world where instant gratification reigns supreme and reactive thinking dominates, there exists a unique breed of individuals who consistently outmaneuver the competition through sheer strategic foresight. These are the Sigma males, the architects of their own destiny who have mastered the art of thinking 10 steps ahead while others barely see the next move. Recent research in strategic psychology reveals fascinating insights about individuals who possess what scientists call a strategic mindset, a psychological orientation that involves frequently asking strategy-eliciting questions and maintaining long-term focus despite short-term pressures. This mindset, as demonstrated in 2025 studies, directly correlates with superior goal achievement and behavioral prediction capabilities. The Sigma male archetype embodies this strategic thinking at its pinnacle. Unlike the dominating alpha or the collaborative beta, the Sigma operates from a position of calculated independence, making decisions based on comprehensive analysis rather than emotional impulse or social pressure. This isn't about toxic masculinity or social dominance. It's about cognitive sophistication and strategic excellence. Chapter 1. Long-term thinking over short-term pleasure. The hallmark of Sigma male strategic thinking lies in their ability to resist immediate gratification in favor of long-term optimization. Current neuroscientific research shows that individuals with strategic mindsets demonstrate enhanced activity in brain regions associated with future planning and inhibitory control, particularly when processing conflicting information that might derail short-term goals. The compound effect of delayed gratification. Sigma males understand that today's sacrifices become tomorrow's advantages. While others chase immediate pleasures, the weekend party, the impulse purchase, the quick dopamine hit, Sigmas invest their time and energy into activities that compound over years. They recognize that reading for 2 hours daily instead of watching television creates exponential knowledge gains. They choose to build skills during evenings when others unwind, understanding that these marginal gains accumulate into massive advantages. Strategic resource allocation research from the Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences demonstrates that strategic thinkers excel at resource allocation because they maintain what researchers call an orientation towards strategic behavior during goal pursuit. This means they consistently ask themselves critical questions. How can I use this time more effectively? What's the highest leverage activity I could engage in right now? Which choice serves my long-term vision? This psychological orientation explains why Sigma males often appear to have unlimited time while others feel constantly rushed. They're not managing time. They're strategically designing their lives around high-impact activities that serve multiple long-term objectives simultaneously. The patience paradox. Counterintuitively, by moving slower in decision-making, Sigma males move faster toward their goals. They spend extensive time in the planning phase, considering variables and potential outcomes that others overlook. This front-loaded thinking prevents costly mistakes and rework that plague reactive thinkers. When they finally act, their moves are precise, efficient, and devastatingly effective. Chapter 2. Observing while others act rashly, Sigma males possess an almost supernatural ability to remain calm. Observers while chaos erupts around them. This isn't passivity, it's strategic positioning. Recent psychological research reveals that individuals with higher strategic mindsets show reduced neural responses to social conflict, allowing them to process information more objectively without emotional interference. The power of strategic silence. In meetings, negotiations, and social situations, Sigma males often remain quiet while others rush to fill silence with poorly considered words. This observational stance provides multiple advantages. They gather more information, avoid revealing their hand prematurely, and allow others to expose their weaknesses and motivations. This behavioral pattern aligns with findings from strategic psychology research showing that strategic thinkers are more likely to update their mental models based on new information rather than defending initial positions. They observe patterns that others miss because they're not emotionally invested in being right immediately. Reading the room, reading the game, while others react to surface-level events, Sigma males observe underlying dynamics. They notice who holds real power versus apparent power, identify alliance patterns, recognize when someone is bluffing, and spot emerging opportunities before they become obvious to everyone else. Emotional regulation under pressure. Strategic mindset research indicates that individuals with higher levels of strategic thinking show enhanced to process feedback without defensive reactions. Sigma males embody this principle. They can receive criticism, observe aggression, or witness chaos without their decision-making capabilities being compromised by emotional responses. This emotional regulation isn't suppression, it's strategic processing. They feel emotions, but don't allow those emotions to hijack their analytical capabilities. This creates enormous advantages in high-stakes situations where others become reactive and predictable. Chapter 3. Calculated risks that pay off. The Sigma male approach to risk-taking represents sophisticated probability assessment combined with asymmetric bet thinking. They don't avoid risk, they optimize it. Asymmetric risk/reward analysis. Sigma males excel at identifying opportunities where potential downsides are limited, but potential upsides are massive. They understand that most people either avoid all risks or take random risks without proper analysis. The strategic approach involves taking many small, calculated risks where the worst-case scenario is manageable, but the best-case scenario is transformative. Information advantage through research. Before taking any significant risk, Sigma males conduct thorough research that others skip. They read the reports others ignore, investigate the backgrounds others assume, and analyze the data others find boring. This preparation often reveals that apparently risky opportunities are actually quite safe for those who understand the full picture. The timing element. Strategic risk-taking involves precise timing. Sigma males wait for optimal conditions rather than forcing moves when circumstances are unfavorable. They understand that the same action can have dramatically different outcomes depending on timing, and they're willing to wait for the right moment even when others pressure them to act immediately. Portfolio thinking. Rather than betting everything on single opportunities, Sigma males think in portfolios. They maintain multiple strategic initiatives, ensuring that even if several fail, the successes more than compensate. This approach allows them to take bigger individual risks because their overall risk is well managed. Chapter 4. Predicting patterns in people. Perhaps the most powerful Sigma male advantage is their ability to predict human behavior with remarkable accuracy. This capability stems from systematic observation combined with understanding of psychological principles. Behavioral pattern recognition. Sigma males become students of human nature, observing how people respond to various stimuli over time. They notice that most individuals have predictable patterns: how they react under stress, what motivates them, where their blind spots lie, and what triggers their defensive responses. This pattern recognition extends beyond individual behavior to group dynamics. They can predict how teams will fracture under pressure, identify who will emerge as leaders during crises, and anticipate which relationships will survive challenges. The psychology of incentives. Rather than taking people's stated motivations at face value, Sigma males analyze actual incentive structures. They understand that people generally act in their perceived self-interest, even when their stated motivations suggest otherwise. This insight allows them to predict behavior more accurately than those who rely on what people say rather than what systems reward. Emotional intelligence applied strategically. While Sigma males are often stereotyped as emotionally detached, the reality is more nuanced. They possess high emotional intelligence, but apply it strategically rather than reactively. They can read emotional states accurately, predict how those states will influence behavior, and adjust their own approach accordingly. Social dynamics mapping. In any group or organization, Sigma males quickly map the real influence networks. They identify who actually makes decisions versus who appears to make decisions, understand alliance patterns, and recognize which relationships are transactional versus genuine. Chapter 5. Strategy as a way of life. For Sigma males, strategic thinking isn't something they turn on for important decisions. It's a continuous life philosophy that permeates every aspect of their existence. Systems-level thinking. Sigma males think in systems rather than isolated events. They understand that everything connects to everything else, and they design their lives accordingly. Career decisions consider lifestyle implications. Relationship choices factor in professional impacts. Health investments account for cognitive performance effects. This systems thinking prevents the compartmentalized approach that limits most people's effectiveness. When life is designed as an integrated system optimized for long-term success, every element reinforces every other element. Strategic learning and development. Rather than learning randomly or pursuing interests based purely on enjoyment, Sigma males strategically develop capabilities that serve multiple purposes. They choose skills that compound over time, knowledge that applies across domains, and experiences that develop transferable insights. Network building with purpose. While networking often has negative connotations, Sigma males approach relationship building strategically but authentically. They seek to connect with people who complement their skills, share their values, or provide access to opportunities and information. However, these relationships are built on genuine mutual value creation rather than manipulation. Continuous strategic iteration. Perhaps most importantly, Sigma males treat their life strategy as a continuously evolving document. They regularly review their goals, assess their progress, identify changing circumstances, and adjust their approach accordingly. This prevents the strategic drift that affects most people who set goals once and then hope for the best. The meta-game mastery. Finally, Sigma males understand that while others are playing the obvious game, there's always a metagame happening simultaneously. They develop the ability to succeed at both levels, performing well at the surface game while positioning themselves advantageously in the deeper strategic context. Conclusion: the strategic edge in a reactive world. The Sigma male's ability to stay 10 steps ahead isn't magic. It's the systematic application of strategic thinking principles backed by modern psychological research. In a world increasingly dominated by short-term thinking, reactive responses, and emotional decision-making, those who maintain strategic discipline gain exponential advantages. The research is clear. Individuals with strategic mindsets consistently outperform others in goal achievement, demonstrate superior behavioral prediction capabilities, and show enhanced ability to learn from feedback and adjust their approaches. These aren't innate talents. They're learnable skills that require practice and commitment. The Sigma male archetype represents the pinnacle of strategic thinking applied to personal development and life design. By embracing long-term thinking, maintaining observational discipline, taking calculated risks, understanding human nature, and living strategically, they create lives of extraordinary effectiveness and success. In an age where everyone else is playing checkers, Sigma males are mastering chess, not just thinking several moves ahead, but understanding the deeper strategic principles that govern success across all domains of life.